everyone, I'm Lisa Flanders. I'm a physiotherapist in Ottawa, Ontario, and I practice in women's health and pelvic floor physiotherapy. Today on It's Not TMI, we're going to be talking about the 5 pelvic floor myths that I hear most frequently. It's been a really long time since I've shot a video, so let's get started. The first myth that I hear very frequently is that pelvic floor dysfunction is normal after childbirth and normal as we age. While pelvic floor dysfunction can be very common after childbirth and common as we get older, it doesn't mean that it's something that we should have to live with, and it's not something that should be normalized just because we've had a baby or because we're getting older. The second myth that I hear is that pelvic floor dysfunction will only occur after childbirth and only with a vaginal birth. So this is false. Pelvic floor dysfunction can happen to anyone at any age, both men and women, children and older adults. It can be something that is very common after childbirth, but not only related to childbirth. The third myth that I hear about pelvic floor dysfunction is that all pelvic floor dysfunction is related to a weakness in the pelvic floor. So this is false. Not all pelvic floor dysfunction is related to muscle weakness. There are typically 2 types of pelvic floors that I see in my office. The first is a hypotonic pelvic floor. So that is a pelvic floor that has a harder time generating a contraction. It's typically a little bit longer, and there is often associated with some weakness. There's also what's called a hypertonic pelvic floor, and that's when the muscles are tense, they're very short, and they also have a difficulty generating contraction. But that doesn't necessarily mean either are weak, they're just sitting in a position that's not optimal to engage the muscles. Myth number 4. Kegels will fix all pelvic floor dysfunction. So women often come into my office and tell me that they've been doing their Kegels, but they're still experiencing dysfunction. This relates back to our third myth that all dysfunctions due to weakness. So since all dysfunction is not due to weakness, we know that Kegels are not going to fix all pelvic floor dysfunction. If you have very tight muscles, doing Kegels is actually going to contribute to more muscle tension. So until you've been evaluated by a professional and prescribed an appropriate treatment plan, Kegels might not be the best option for you. Myth number 5 is that all pelvic floor dysfunction is due to a problem in the pelvic floor itself. So this is a myth. Our body is very interconnected, and just because you're experiencing a dysfunction in one place does not mean that that's actually the place where the dysfunction is coming from. That might just be a victim of a dysfunction somewhere else. So having an evaluation by a trained professional, a whole body evaluation, can actually find the root of your problem, and the root of your problem might be coming from somewhere else entirely. Now, because this comes up often in my office, I'm going to give you a bonus 6th myth. That myth is that you have to wash your vulva for optimal health and hygiene. Now, our vagina and our vulva are actually self-cleaning, so you don't need to be using any special products to clean the area. Warm water or mild soap is all you need. If you want more information about that, you can actually check out an earlier video that I did that's linked to this YouTube page. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have a question that you think is TMI, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys, have a great day.